Your person's karmic contracts are finally coming to an end, a long, drawn-out process where past influences and deep-seated patterns that once controlled their actions are gradually dissolving. For many years, they found themselves ensnared in a web of mind games and subconscious forces that dictated their decisions and kept them from truly embracing their inner truth. Now, as these karmic ties loosen their grip, they are beginning to see life from a new, clearer perspective, one that illuminates the significance of the bond they share with you. As the old patterns crumble, your person is starting to recognize just how essential you are to their happiness and overall well-being. In the quiet moments of reflection, they realize that you were never just another person in their life. You represent a sanctuary, a connection that nourished their soul even when they were lost in the chaos of misguided choices. This newfound clarity comes with a bittersweet awareness of past mistakes, especially when they recall how they once straddled multiple possibilities, including other options that ultimately proved to be nothing more than distractions. Now, the weight of those poor choices is pressing heavily on their conscience. The distance that has grown between you has become a constant source of internal conflict for them. They find themselves tormented by the thought of remaining emotionally distant from you, as if a crucial piece of their life were missing. This lingering gap is not merely a physical separation, it represents a barrier built from past missteps and unspoken regrets. They are troubled by this estrangement because it means living in a state of unresolved tension, a state that serves as a constant reminder of the injustice they feel you deserve after all that has transpired. Haunted by guilt, your person is now determined to return and set things right. They see this return as a form of justice, an opportunity to reconcile the imbalance created by their previous actions. The remorse they feel is profound, stemming from a realization that every moment of hesitation or betrayal has contributed to a situation where you might feel undervalued or misunderstood. They long to correct these wrongs, not just for your sake, but also to finally liberate themselves from the burdens of guilt and self-reproach. This internal struggle is compounded by the silence on your end. Your lack of communication or the absence of a clear signal that you might be open to reconciliation intensifies their anxiety. Every day that passes without hearing from you deepens their fear that they may have lost their only chance at redemption. This tension is not just emotional, it disrupts the natural flow of their energy, leaving them in a state of restless anticipation. They worry constantly about whether you will ever forgive them or grant them another opportunity to prove their sincerity. In the quiet hours of the night, when the world is still and thoughts become louder, your person grapples with their inner demons on a telepathic level. There is an almost mystical connection that once flowed effortlessly between you, a silent, intuitive exchange that transcended words. But now, that energy seems diminished, a faint echo of what it used to be. The loss of this deeper, unspoken bond has left them feeling isolated and even more desperate to restore the connection that once defined your relationship. The absence of your energy is not just a minor inconvenience, it is a catalyst for their growing inner turmoil. Despite these overwhelming challenges, there is an undeniable determination within them. They are resolute in their decision to take action, to bridge the gap of silence and misunderstanding that has grown between you. They know that explaining their actions and expressing their remorse is not an easy path, but it is one they are willing to tread, even if it means exposing their vulnerability in a way they have never done before. With you, they have always felt a unique openness, a rare chance to be truly seen and understood. And this is why they are driven to break down the barriers that have kept them at a distance. Yet, amid this struggle, there remains a quiet fear that you might not understand them as they hope. They are acutely aware of their history of emotional guardedness, a trait that has served as both a shield and a barrier in the past. With you, however, that shield has slowly crumbled, revealing the raw, unfiltered parts of their soul that they have kept hidden from everyone else. The prospect of you not comprehending their true self, or worse, rejecting them outright, is a terrifying thought that hovers over every step they take towards reconciliation. All these conflicting emotions and realizations coalesce into one undeniable truth: they want to be in your life again. The journey toward healing and reconnection is fraught with challenges, but the desire to right past wrongs and rebuild the bond you once shared is more powerful than any fear or uncertainty. Your person is ready to face the consequences of their actions, to explain and to atone, all in the hope that you will once again welcome them with open arms. Your prolonged silence has left me adrift in a sea of uncertainty and self-doubt. Each day that passes without a word from you intensifies my inner turmoil, and although I'm trying hard to remain calm, the quiet only fuels my anxiety. I find myself plagued by relentless questions. Have I truly hurt you more than I ever realized? Could it be that my words, spoken without malice but perhaps without care, have pushed you further away? The thought that I might have made you feel unappreciated or sad gnaws at me relentlessly, as I wonder if every promise I once made now rings hollow in the echo of our disconnect. I remember the times when your laughter lit up the room and your eyes shone with hope and warmth. Those moments seem like distant memories now, replaced by a stark and painful absence that overshadows everything. Your withdrawal from the closeness we once shared has left a void that I struggle to fill, and it hurts deeply to consider that the bond we cherished might have been broken by my own inadvertent missteps. The silence between us isn't merely the absence of sound, it feels like a chasm, a tangible divide where words and affection used to flow freely. It is in this silence that I question whether you still believe in the promises we made together, or if you have slowly let go of the hope for our future. The past few months have been especially difficult as I notice a change in your energy, a detachment that wasn't there before. This growing distance is like an ever-present shadow, intruding on my daily life and sapping my ability to focus on anything else. Every task, every quiet moment, becomes a painful reminder of your absence, and I find myself constantly overwhelmed by thoughts of what might have gone wrong. The fear that I have lost you forever looms large, a persistent echo in every corner of my mind. No distraction or fleeting moment of relief seems strong enough to quell the relentless anxiety that has taken root in my heart. At night, when the world is still and I am left alone with my thoughts, I replay every conversation, every shared smile, and every word that passed between us. I dissect each moment, desperately trying to pinpoint when things began to change, when your warmth turned to detachment. The possibility that I have unwittingly contributed to your sadness, through careless words or unintentional neglect, torments me. I long for the comfort of your voice, for a sign that you are still there, that this distance can be bridged with honest conversation and renewed understanding. I yearn to communicate with you, to break through the barrier that now seems to keep you so untouchable. It feels as if an invisible wall has risen between us, leaving me isolated and desperate for the connection we once took for granted. I want nothing more than to reach out and remind you of the strength of our bond, to show you that the promises I made were sincere and that my commitment to you has not wavered. I am prepared to confront any fault within myself, to listen to every concern you have, in the hope that together we can overcome this painful silence and rebuild what has been lost. The reality of your absence is a heavy burden I carry each day. The emptiness is not merely physical but resonates deep within my soul, affecting every aspect of my life. It's as if I am haunted by the thought that you are slipping away, not just from my presence but from my heart entirely. The more I dwell on the silence, the more I fear that our connection has been irreparably damaged, that I have lost the one person who filled my world with meaning. This fear is a constant companion, turning even the simplest moments into battles against overwhelming sorrow and regret. I still hold on to the memories of when our dreams were intertwined and our laughter was a melody that brightened even the darkest days. Every memory now serves as both a comfort and a reminder of what might be lost forever. Even as the pain of your absence becomes increasingly difficult to bear, I remain steadfast in my belief that love, true, resilient love, can withstand the trials of silence and miscommunication. I want to believe that despite the distance that has grown between us, there remains a path back to the closeness we once shared. Until that path is revealed, I stand here vulnerable, reaching out in the hope that you might share even a small sign, a word, a gesture, that confirms you are still here with me in spirit. I am willing to fight for our connection, to mend the fractures that have developed over these long, silent months, and to prove that the love we share is worth every effort. Your absence is felt in every heartbeat and every quiet moment, and it serves as a constant reminder that nothing can truly replace you. You are the reason that everyone in my life has begun to notice a profound change within me. Every glance and whispered conversation seems to reflect the inner transformation I am undergoing, a transformation ignited by the memory of what we once shared. I now carry with me an energy and determination that I never knew existed, a determination to reclaim the connection that has long been a part of my identity. As I navigate this journey of self-discovery, I have come to realize that nothing can stop me from moving toward you. Every day, I rise with the resolve of someone who has been reborn, determined to overcome the obstacles that once held me back. I am back in the game, but this time I am not just playing around with emotions, I am fully committed to reviving the bond we once cherished. I crave your attention, longing for the way we once laughed and talked for hours, sharing dreams and secrets as if the rest of the world simply ceased to exist. I must confess that I never intended for you to walk away for good. When you did, I found myself plunged into a deep loneliness that left me feeling hollow and abandoned. In that isolation, I had the time to reflect on my actions and the choices that led to our separation. I now understand that in letting you go, I was not only letting go of a person but also of a piece of myself, a mistake I now regret with every passing moment. This period of solitude has been tumultuous, filled with chaos and emotional upheaval. Yet, within this storm, I discovered the incredible power you hold over me, not in a controlling way, but as a catalyst for growth and change. Realizing that I had been a fool to let you walk away has sparked in me a desire to purge all that is negative and rebuild from the ashes. I am undergoing what I can only describe as extreme purification, a relentless process of shedding my former self and emerging anew, ready to embrace the life we might create together. I deeply regret not reaching out to you sooner. My silence was born from a mix of confusion, fear, and pride, not from a lack of love or care. I stand before you now, vulnerable and sincere, hoping that you can understand the tumult that has driven my every action. Please do not be saddened by my absence, for just as water finds its own course and dust is inevitably carried away by the wind, our lives are guided by forces greater than ourselves. I have come to believe that, like the unstoppable flow of nature, our love is meant to find its way back to us. Yes, love, we are meant to be together. Our paths, though once diverged by our own imperfections and unforeseen circumstances, are now converging again with a clarity that I never imagined possible. I have learned that every misstep and every moment of despair was not in vain but was instead a crucial part of my transformation. I now see that our separation was the prelude to a more profound reunion, one built on renewed understanding, forgiveness, and hope. Life, I have discovered, is not a straightforward path. It twists and turns, challenging us at every corner to grow, adapt, and become better versions of ourselves. Each challenge, every setback, has served as a stepping stone toward the person I am today, a person who values every lesson learned from our past. And as I stand at the threshold of this new beginning, I am filled with a cautious optimism that our hearts, once separated by time and circumstance, can beat in unison again. I extend my hand to you, not merely as an invitation for reconciliation but as a promise of renewal and growth. Let us leave behind the remnants of pain and regret, and instead, focus on the possibility of a future where our love is stronger and more resilient than ever. I am here, willing to face any challenge, ready to transform the mistakes of yesterday into the foundation of a brighter tomorrow. In the quiet moments of reflection, as I ponder the distance that has come between us, I realize that every twist of fate has been a lesson in disguise. With a heart cleansed by the fires of regret and kindled by the desire to restore what was lost, I now stand ready to embrace whatever the future holds. Together, we can harness the inevitable forces of change, transforming our love into something even more profound and beautiful than before.